Hello, happy Monday. So beginning to another whole new spring week if you're in the US. So I changed my location today. This is where my clients sit when they come into my studio. And my desk is filled with stuff because I just got back from teaching a nail class in my area, and I had to turn around and repack it and ship it for Utah. And so I didn't really have an area that I could sit and be inspired and talk to you guys today because all I saw was chaos, which actually triggered what I wanted to talk about today about clearing the chaos. Hello, everybody. Good morning. Hello, Karen. Hello, Miss China, MJ. There you are. Yes, I am a little bit late because I changed my setup, and so I had to put everything on the other side of the room. Yes, hello, Dawn. Hello, girls, Miss Robin. Hello, good morning, everybody. So, yes, so clearing the chaos. I actually just Googled it because I thought, did I just come up with something that nobody else, has, or cleaning the chaos? And nope, there's websites for both. But it does, I don't know, kind of rolls off the tongue pretty nicely, doesn't it? Anyways, I've never really sat where my clients sit, so I definitely think that it's important. Now, my clients don't sit here a whole lot. I'm ready for them, so they sit in the other chair, but it is important to kind of see what they see, and it's kind of fun. It makes me see, when you sit at your own desk, you see the clutter, you see the mess of what you have in your to-do list and your appointment book and, all that kind of stuff. So you're in business mind. When you sit over here, it's kind of a little bit more relaxing, which is good because that's what I want for my clients, but I think I'm gonna have to sit on this side more often. So next week, just to kind of give you guys a heads up really quick, is the 23rd on a Monday, and I will be flying home that day from my husband's boot camp graduation, and so I am going to move that to, I think, the 24th. I'll post it in the event, so I will not be live next Monday in the morning because it's going to be too much from all the airports and stuff like that, so I don't want to add more attention to myself. Okay, so let you guys know that. Okay. So obviously my desk mess inspired today's topic. Hello, Carrie. And, I got to thinking when it comes to cleaning or time for clearing, again, just like self-care, just like everything else, what we've learned is that we have to mark it off, right? Sometimes it can come naturally. You get up and maybe you got up a little bit early, and we've talked about like it takes 5 seconds to decide if you're going to do something or not, to start the action. It takes 5 minutes to usually complete a task. That's it. But the lasting effects of that is usually 15 hours. So, the 5, 5, and 15, I've talked about that in a live before. And I'm going to use that throughout this year because it really did. There's truth to this. And so, when you get up in the morning and you're like, oh, I just got to get up, or maybe you get up and, you're spry and ready to go, there's still a part of you that if we would take those 5 seconds to walk to the laundry room and take 5 minutes switching out the laundry and putting it away, when you start timing these tasks that we don't really want to do, you realize that usually they're less than 5 minutes. Even dishes, unless you've let them pile way up or you had a big dinner party. But if you had a big dinner party, isn't there just a mutual respect where you stay and help them clean up the dishes? And so therefore you don't have to spend that. The 5 minutes is just putting away the dishes after they're clean. And so even cleaning a bathroom, if you get a system going and you have the right cleaners, it's 5 minutes. I mean, wiping down the glass and the sinks and spraying everything with the Clorox and wiping down the commode and doing, on your way out, you're Swiffering and cleaning off the floors. Like, if you really are focused on what you're doing, it really is 5 minutes. Now, if you'd allowed the clutter to sink in a bit, it's going to be more than 5 minutes. But it also took more than 5 minutes for you to create that clutter. And so therefore, there are things that you have to break it down into what can I do in 5 minutes. Maybe to start off with, it's just clearing off one desktop. And I don't mean like just taking your arm across it and like sweeping it across the desk. I mean like truly putting those items into a place where they need to be for long term. Or if you don't need it, we need to purge it. And we're going to talk a lot about that today too. So yes, mastering the chaos. MJ, I'm going to look that up because anything that I can be innovative on, I feel good about it and I'll take help. Yes, exactly like that. Mastering the chaos. I like it. Ken says, I've been watching you all morning, refreshing my genre skills. Well, good. And that's the benefits of the online workshops that I do is that they're there for you to continue rewatching and rewatching even 6 months from now. Maybe you took it and maybe you've had changes in 6 months or something. So I love that you can go back and rewatch that. Well, Deb, I'm glad that you found us. Hello, Miss Delia. Okay. So cleaning or clearing, or as MJ said, mastering the chaos. I used to always say embrace the chaos, and I've actually have made many signs up that say embrace the chaos, and there is truth to that. However, I'm kind of changing on that. We do have to embrace it at some point in time, and I think what we need to embrace is recognize that that is always a struggle, or recognize that that chaos is always there, and then recognize, is it something that we can change to where we don't see it as chaos? And if so, what are the steps to be able to make that change and clear that chaos? And so years and years ago, I honestly, it had to have been in the 90s. I took a Dave Ramsey class, and then later on, I found Susie Orman, and I remember she was on TV, and I remember watching her, and there was a part in there that she said, if your house is not in order, your life is not in order. And I actually tried to YouTube it this weekend and see if I could find that, and I couldn't find it. But I remember it so clearly because I remember the house I lived in. I remember I had a glass top living room table, and that table was always something, like my son was little, he was always getting hurt on that table. I always had to keep it clear because he would take his cars and like bang on the table. And I realized that I was either going to continue to stay mad at my son every time he scratched it, hit himself on it, drooled on it, whatever he did. I was always going to live in that chaos of that. Or I could temporarily move the table. So guess what I did? I moved the table. It took away chaos. I could make that change. We get so complacent where things are and the way they need to be, or they could look good for company. How many times does company actually come over, but yet you've set your place up in case company comes? So change the chaos. You have control over that. So kind of sit in a room. Maybe you have to sit on the floor in a different spot in your room and look around. What do you see that is this just constant chaos? And is it an item that just brings you negativity? I mean, in one way, it could be that it was a gift from an ex and you always liked it, but it always reminds you of your ex every time you look at it. Why are you keeping it if it's going to put you back into that chaos mindset? And so put it in a box. You're saving it, right? You're saving it for some reason. So save it, put it in a box, and get it out of your view. Keep things in your view that inspire you, that don't look cluttered, that when company comes over, we don't have to throw in the oven. I read something this weekend that it was like, here's how to clean your chaos. And they were pushing things under their bed, in their closets, in their oven. And I'm like, what? No, you're supposed to actually clean it. And it made me laugh. And I think its purpose was to make me laugh. But it made me realize, I wonder how many people just push something aside or hide it, but don't actually clear it, don't actually clean it. And so it's always there. And what we have around us is in us. They've proven that. So if you have, dusty shelves and stuff like that all the way around you, the inside of you feels like it's dusty. You need to clean that. You need to clean the external. And so physically putting your hands onto something and moving it, cleaning it, clearing it, purging it affects you internally. It's amazing. There's an energy to every single item that's out there, and it affects you internally. And so we need to surround ourselves with things that have energy that's going to affect us in a positive way. If things are always dusty, things are always cluttered, you can't wrap your mind on even where to begin with that. That means that your internal system is the same way. So you know what you do? You ignore it. You leave it alone. Nothing changes. We've talked a lot in here that it's proven that through life, no matter if you are an animal, an insect, a human, we are destined from birth for continuous change. That means the things around us need to continuously change as well. But the things around us, we can help control what that is when it's in our own space. So we talked about your inspiration station. This is kind of a takeoff of that. So you saw the things that inspire you, and you put them on a platter, you put them on a shelf, you have a station that inspires you. Does the rest of your life reflect that space? And in that space, I'm sure you made it pretty, you made it organized, you had a system where you put things, maybe even organized into categories. This is my family life, my personal life. For me, I purposely in my inspiration station had to put both, because my constant struggle, my constant chaos is always feeling like the balance between the two. So I didn't want to create one for family, one for business. I needed one that there was family, business, and how they could connect. And it's important for that. So something external actually is a direct reflection of what's on the inside of me. So if you go to somebody's home, and I'm not a judger like this, so if I ever come to your home, no, this is not how I judge. But if somebody was to ask me to analyze it, then I would analyze it. And it just happened this weekend. I went to a salon and she said, I need you to analyze my space for me. And I'm like, okay. And I've taught with her 2 years ago. And I said, this is what I see right now. And so I started looking deeper, and I'm like, you don't care about your retail. You're not selling retail, because I can lift up a bottle of lotion and there's a clean spot under the lotion and the rest of this is completely dusty. So the clients are seeing that this is old. It's been sitting there for a while. And she goes, it has. And I'm like, then you need to dust it. You need to move it around, rearrange it. Let's move this cabinet. We moved the cabinet. There's stuff up underneath the cabinet. I've been looking for that. Okay. Well, if you would regularly clean your chaos, you would have found it over a year ago when you were looking for it. And so there is things that you can analyze when you go to somebody's house. So if you walk in and maybe it has a very strong odor of something, just like if you walk into somebody's salon, it makes you kind of wonder, what's the odor from? Is it from a meal that they cooked and, it's just the odor of the meal? Is it from something musty and it's just an older house? I had a house that was built in 1917 that we moved out of when we moved here, and it always had a musty scent. And I never knew about dehumidifiers. Yeah, guess what? We rent out that house now and it doesn't have a musty scent. So there's things that you can do. You just have to get the knowledge and the people around you that know how to fix this kind of stuff. Sometimes you can look into somebody's house and you might see all the dust and stuff, but have they been doing woodworking in their house and drywalling? Or is it dust that has settled there for a long time? And we know that dust, there's a lot with dust. And is this person always ill? Maybe what they need is a good Clorox cleaning. And so are you willing to help that person? Because we can see it in somebody else easier than we can see it in ourselves. And then likewise, be accountable to that person to say, can you come to my home or my business and analyze mine? What do you see? Because what other people see is going to be totally different than what you see. You think your chaos is the desktop if it's there. Other people walk in and they're like, that doesn't look like chaos to me. That looks like you're, getting ready to pack for something. There's justification. But the chaos might be that this cord has been over here for 2 years hanging out like this. And, maybe that's what they see. And so I think it's important to bring other people in and have them point out, somebody trustworthy, have them point out what they see is your chaos. It's almost like strengths. When you ask somebody else, what do you think my strengths are? They are going to come up with different things than what you have. And if you really want to clear your chaos and you want to live a life with zen and serenity and not throwing things in your oven when company unexpectedly comes over. I would have never thrown things in my oven. Just cracked me up. Then the reality is that you need to bring somebody else in with eyes to be able to help present that to you. Now, it doesn't mean that what they see, you need to fix everything. It just might be like, you know what? That's something that I noticed too, and I want to clear that. And maybe it can even be your spouse or your kids or something like that. So yeah, clearing the chaos. Yes, so Deb, you know about Susie Orman? Yeah, isn't she amazing? And you know what? Out of all the trainings that I did, that's the only thing I really remember from her was that. And it made me move that table. I remember thinking, my laundry always piled up. And I remember thinking, I need to be in control of that laundry. I need to regularly find a system. And I have learned I'm not a person that's a laundry day. I learned in the morning, just go start the washer and put on a load. And at night, put the load into the dryer. By the next morning, I start a new load. I can take that one out. I can put it away. I've broke it down into 5-minute sections. All day long doing laundry to me is awful. And I don't know why putting away the laundry is the worst, but it's true. By the time I take a basket to my room, lay it out on my bed, sort through it, and put it away, it's less than 5 minutes. And then my mindset's different on it, and I'm like, it's not a task. I need it done. I love clean clothes. I love when they smell good. So just get it done. It needs to be done. Because the more it sits there, when you start thinking of mold, or you start thinking of what's on those clothes and all of that, and the longer it sits there, maybe something will stain more. Just do it. And so I'll share with you guys a little bit what not a normal day, because not every day do I have something that I have to do. Yesterday was a perfect example, but I have a system, and I think it just naturally has become the system. My daughter has the same system, so it's rolled onto her, and it might not be your system. Now forgive, I don't have little kids in my house anymore, but I did this when I had little kids, so know that this was when that system started, and it did help me through the chaos. And my sister-in-law comes over all the time. Your house is always so clean. Now she doesn't have kids in our house or animals. We just have a guinea pig. So, animals create different kinds of chaos and all of that. And she's like, your house always smells so good. It's always so clean. I don't see it that way. I always say, like, I still have more to do. And she goes, like, your dishes are always done. I'm like, I always rinse them and just put them into the dishwasher. So I don't actually, unless I'm cooking, have to do dishes because I hate doing dishes. And so create something that takes away that chaos, because we always have something that we need to do. Always. It's never done, right? It's never completely checked off. Delia says, I store things in my oven only because I don't have a lot of cabinet space. Now, if you're storing dishes, pots, pans, I can understand that. In this video, they were actually taking their laundry and hiding it. So what happened is somebody shows up at the door, and they went through their house and picked up all these clothes and threw it in their oven. And I died laughing when I was watching it because I was like, oh my gosh. Anyways, yeah, so hopefully you're not storing clothes, picture frames, stuff like that in your oven. Doug says, me too. And yes, putting away is the worst. I know, why, right? Yep. It's got to be a mental thing. I agree. Hello, Michaela. Okay. So from my notes, clear your chaos. Are you organized that if another person, so if I came to your home and I said, if I were a spatula, where would I be? Would I be able to go to the drawer on top of the cabinet, which everything in my house goes into a drawer. I don't like things sitting out. Would I be able to find that spatula? Or would I have to search through the top 3 normal places a spatula would be to be able to find one? Okay. If I was to go into your bathroom and I needed a Band-Aid, are your Band-Aids in a typical place that you would find Band-Aids? The first place I would look is probably the medicine cabinet on the wall. The second place is probably a drawer. If they're not in those places, are you organized, and organized to where if something happened to you and somebody had to come into your home to help take care of you, would they be able to easily get around your home on the basics? I mean, not the extended stuff of where a specific item might, a special item might be, but would they be able to find a spatula? Would they be able to find the Band-Aids? I mean, it even goes down to that simple kind of thing. So if I came to your home and I showed up at your door, would you be taking your stuff and throwing it in the oven? If so, today is for you. Or would you be more worried about your own appearance? I would, because I'm usually in my pajamas, my hair pulled up, yesterday's makeup on. So if you guys showed up at my house, it wouldn't be about my house that I would feel the chaos. It wouldn't be about any of that, actually. It would be more selfish. It would be about me that I wasn't presentable enough for you. But if your house is in disorder, I can tell you, you are in disorder. If not, your priorities are wrong. If you're spending a day at home and you have full makeup on and you are glammed out and you have no place to go and you took an hour to put yourself together, but you didn't take an hour to clear your house, you're gonna have to change that around. It's important because that means your priorities are off just a little bit. And so, anyways, what would happen if I showed up at your door? What would you do? Or would everything be in alignment and you would just be bouncing up and down like what I would be doing and say, come in, can I get you coffee, tea? Come on, let's go play. That means that you have this alignment about you. You're happy with what your home is. You're happy with how you're being presented. And when things surprise up on you, you can handle it. When your home is in chaos and you're in chaos and somebody that shows up at your door and you get to where you don't even answer the door because there's just too much and it's holding you back, that's when we need to figure this out. We need to start with the small steps and do the 5 seconds, 5 minutes for the 15-hour rule and get you to where life is in better order. They did prove that when your house is in disarray, your finances are in disarray. You cannot have good finances and have a messy house. They did studies on this, and I agree with it. When I started organizing my house and I started making sure, not that it was company ready, it was for me ready, because I don't get a lot of company. It's for me. And so when it's me ready, then I had time to focus on other things and be creative. When things are cluttered and chaos around you, you lose the creativity because you go into a depression. You start looking around and you're like, I don't even know where to begin. It's too overwhelming. We have too much stuff. And the idea of purging is where it comes into, where sometimes we just have to let that item go. Whether we donate it, give it to somebody who would appreciate it, put it in a box and keep it for safekeeping, but get it out of sight, get it out of mind so that you can focus on the things that you need to focus on. When we lose our creativity, we lose our finances. We lose our ability to be re-inspired at that moment, to learn something new. We get stuck, we get burned out. We talked about burnout last week too, and it's important to keep yourself out of that mode. But when you don't have the finances and you don't know where to start on the cleaning and the chaos, you're at the bottom and you have to work your way up, and it affects our health. And like I said, it affects you physically. So we're going to get past all of that. And today I'm going to share steps on how to get started. I want to kind of turn this around into our industry. So the same thing, if your boss or your inspector comes in and you have a client in front of you, this has happened so many times over the years. When they walk in the door, and in Wyoming, they always come in with a notepad, their business card, because notepad is an inspection sheet. They have a pen. And because I know Matt, I know what he looks like, I know what he drives, I know when he drives up. What's your first initial response? Is it, I got this? Oh, Matt's here. Hey, let's go open the door and welcome him. Or is it like, oh my gosh, and you are like throwing things in drawers, and you're moving things, and your clients are like, what's going on? You're like, inspection's here. And your clients are now immediately seeing all the things that you're doing that are against the law, that you're going to be written up on, right? You need to look at your house the same way. If an inspector came in, are you having your house set up that we do foster care, so we would get inspected from DFS and state and stuff like that too. So are they set up to where you don't have that anxiety, that you can welcome them in and be comfortable? With normal stuff, yeah, if you have dishes, they're not going to write you down on that. But if the state inspector come in, are you reusing files and you're not supposed to? Of Quit reusing files, because every time somebody comes in, you don't know who they are. Maybe they are an inspector and they're secretly inspecting you, and you're going to get written up for it. There's an anxiety that is constant with that. Every time you reuse a file you know you're not supposed to, you will get an anxiety inside of you, and that affects you physically. And it's something you can control. It's something you can do, and you can learn to buy in bulk to save the cost, to where you don't feel guilty giving that file to the client. You don't feel guilty throwing it in the garbage. There becomes a release inside of you that is calming, and you no longer have that chaos. So think of all the little tiny things in your personal life, in your business life, with your children, that create this daily chaos. And we wonder why sometimes we just can't even think. I can't even get started. I can't do this. I can't add the pea onto my plate, because you have too many things that you can control. You choose to ignore and let it go, because maybe you have to confront something. Maybe it's going to take work for you to spend 5 minutes doing something every single day. But you know what? Once you get it under control, you set the boundaries of what needs to be done. It's no longer anxiety and chaos. I truly think the reason why a lot of women in their 40s, later 40s, 50s, and 60s finally get a grasp on life, and they always say, these are my best years, I think it's truly because they've learned to let go. They've learned how to manage their time. They have the boundaries set that people are finally respecting, because they've been able to stand tall on that. And I think that's why they call it their best years, the fabulous 40s, is because they've learned to let go of some of this stuff. And they've addressed it, they've cleared it. You walk into older people's homes that are truly aligned, and you can just see the love in their home. Maybe they have crosses around, maybe they dust. they really have this serenity, and when they cook, they cook. And you're like, I want to be like that someday. But you can't when you have too many other things going on. I know people who are truly aligned, and they are in their 20s and 30s with children. They knew how to set boundaries. They are like, they are in that alignment that I saw in my grandmother. They are there. They have it. So you can't say, oh, I can't wait till I'm in my 40s, I'll have that. No, it just took us that long to figure this out. You can be in your 20s and listen to somebody like me today and figure this out and start your Zen and Serenity process a whole lot sooner, because it took us just a lot longer to figure it out. So yes, exactly that. All right, let's back up here. Oh my goodness. Hello, everybody. Kim says, I organized and cleaned both my pantry and my closet last week, and it does feel so good. Yes. And how many things did you see you were holding on to for a long time, especially in a pantry? Every now and then I have to go clean up my refrigerator doors, and I'll see that things have been sitting there for 2 years. And you open it, and sure enough, the lid even has a little bit of mold on it. So then you start thinking, oh my gosh, I'm awful with this. But sometimes we, ketchups and jellies and stuff like that, they just sit there. But how many times are you in a grocery store and you're like, I can't fit another thing in this fridge, but yet we have nothing? It's because those items that are sitting there are taking up space for the things that you need for your future. Those are old. Purge them. Throw them away. If it's not, moldy, give it away. Somebody is going to appreciate it and treasure it. Hello, Miss Becky. Actually, today, I didn't realize it until I was getting ready to go live for here. Today in Vivify is actually called Get Organized, and Becky's the instructor on that. And so it must just be a get organized, clear the chaos kind of day. Hello, Miss Suzanne. Michaela, I need to watch this with my husband. You're speaking truth right now. And you know what, Michaela, there's a huge truth with that. So obviously I'm married. What my husband sees as chaos is not what I see as chaos. But there is always a happy medium where you have to speak it, okay? So for instance, my husband, and I might cry because, he's been gone since January, and I actually hate this. It's something that instantly is anxiety in me. He thinks it's hilarious, right? So, I always clip my bangs back, and I have either clippies or bobby pins or whatever. So when it's that time for snuggle time on the couch, he takes the clippies out and he throws them behind the TV counter, behind the couch, into the couch cushions. I'm instantly like, you're not the one that vacuums, so you're not the one that's going to have to pick that up. And I'm a money saver. So instead of just going and buying more Clippies, I'm going to go find them and collect them one day and save them, right? Every time my husband's gone and I have to go find these Clippies, it makes me miss him. It makes me know that he loves to be playful with me and it's not hurting anything except for our vacuum cleaner every now and then when I don't pick one up on time. It's these little reminders that when they're gone that I treasure those moments, because that means that we were sitting down to cuddle. It was our quality time. It always was enjoyable. And so if that makes him feel good to create that chaos in me, I can handle that. But at the time, I get so frustrated, and all it does is entice them to do it more, right? But you have to be on the same page with your spouse. You know what, this really bothers me. And I know that if I told Brandon, you know what, babe, it really, really bothers me. Part of it, I'm afraid that it's going to hit electrical wires behind the TV and it's metal, and I just think that we're going to start a spark. He's like, it will not. And I'm like, it's what my mind does. Like, I really see this as a hazard. He doesn't. And so the times that I'm like, it really bothers me, he stops. But you know, it doesn't stop him from the action. He just doesn't throw him behind the TV where there's wires. He's still gonna do it. And yeah, you guys are throwing some laughter. It is funny. And I miss it now that he's gone. But it does create chaos in me. It's just one of those things. And so get on the same page with your spouse. These are the things that truly bother me. But allow them to make their list of what truly bothers them. So my husband, I'm a crafter. So I always am picking stuff up at like the Restore Habitat for Humanity, old broken tiles that I've been drawing on. You guys see that? Because I believe in repurposing and, and stuff. So in my truck, there's usually a bag of something in there from the Habitat for Humanity or that somebody has gifted to me. And it's an old piece of fence or something like that. And in my truck, there's always something in there that he sees as junk. And so he doesn't like the fact that I have this very beautiful new truck that I've paid for, but I'm not respecting it because when he sees in it, he either smells some old rusty fence, something in it, or some junk. He sees it as disrespectful. And I never saw it in his eyes. He wants a clean vehicle. So if there's an emergency, if you have company, we don't have to stop and clean out the vehicle before we can put somebody in our car. And it's so true. There's been many times that I'm like, I'm sorry, hold on, let me clear out my truck. And I'm in the back seat for over 5 minutes, pulling out stuff, throwing it in a pile in his garage that I'll get to another time. That adds more chaos to him. And I didn't see it that way. So what I realized is that when I pick up stuff, I need to take it out and I need to put it where it needs to go. And I do. I have my little shabby shack shed out back and I need to put it away. So the things that bother me don't bother him. The things that bother him don't bother me. But there needs to be an equal ground where you and your husband can get together and say, okay, we can't fix all of these, but today, I'm going to respect you and you're going to respect me. And we're going to pick the one thing that bothers us the most. I'm going to do that for you. And then in return, they're going to do it, back. So Michaela, what you said about that, it really does take a team. And then you need your children. So for instance, dishes. Nobody was really helping with the dishes. And my daughter does definitely now. When they're little, you don't want them to do the dishes because you're going to have to turn around and do them again anyways, right? And now there are great parents out there that are like, nope, it's fine. The kids washed it. Yeah, there's still stuff on it. It's fine. I'm not that way. I'm OCD when it comes to that. I've talked about my dishes before. So when it comes down to that, you need to also sit down with the children and say, you know what? You have to rinse your dish out when you're done. I'll put it in the dishwasher, or teach them to put it in the dishwasher. Teach them that you're only setting them up for success for you for the future of losing the chaos. It gives them responsibility that they feel like they're helping you, even though it is their own, thing that they need to do, cleaning up after themselves. Sets them up as adults to be able to adult properly as well, and sets them in a cycle that it takes us years to be able to face. Years for us to be able to finally get into our 40s and 50s and say, okay, people are finally listening. No, you need to set it when they're children. And so, Michaela, good point on bringing your husband into that. Hello, Sister Tiffany. Carrie says, this is one thing that I don't freak out over is the inspectors coming in. I love seeing them. Carrie, it's because in your salon, you are organized, you know that you're doing things right. That's what you're supposed to feel. There's no chaos with that, right? I can tell you when Matt comes to me, I'm excited because I'm going to talk to him about what other salons are doing, what trends does he see, because I get inspired when he comes to help me know what I need to teach. And he's like, Amy, you need to talk up a lot about sanitation. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to put some more out there. And I go live into our local groups in our state and teach sanitation. So I get inspired from him. And I tell him I use him more than he ever uses me. Last time I saw an inspector, he went to check that our licenses weren't expired and left. Wow. So let's just say that's good. But what was your feeling when he came in? But in a way, when they come in and do that, I would almost run to the door and say, wait, I had a few questions for you. Is there any new laws that I need to be aware of? Always use that. Always use that one thing. Is there any new laws I need to be aware of? Because annually they put out a new book, maybe, and you may have gotten the email. And so ask them. Let them know that you're interested in staying current like that. MJ, who's also in Wyoming, I love seeing Matt walk in. Always greet him with a big smile and ask him like how his crazy life. Oh yes, isn't that so true? I will actually miss his face. Oh, because I know that you're leaving. Yeah, so fun. Okay, so I'm going to skip through some of these because I want to stay focused on what I'm doing, but I will get back and answer a lot of these. Looks like not really questions, but more statements. So if I missed a question, repost it, or when I watch this on replay, I will get back to it. Okay. Okay, is your personal space, like your car, your room, your bathroom, is it cluttered? Is there stuff all over the place? Is it a direct reflection of what you're feeling on the inside? You're going to find that it is correlated together. And does it reflect who you really want to be? Another thing that's interesting on there is, so I do like Bath and Body Works. I do, when it comes to soap, buy the hand soap, the Myers hand soap that has the scent, has the feel that I want. And so I want to know that I am staying financially set to continue a lifestyle that I really want. So when I look around and I see that every now and then I have to go to Dollar Tree and buy the dollar soap, for some reason that stays with me, that I wasn't able to afford or justify to afford the $3 to $5 soap. So when I look around in my bathroom and I can see the good toothpaste and I can see the good soap and the good shampoo and conditioner, because I still go through times like that where I just go buy the cheapest shampoo, conditioner, the cheapest toothpaste that's there, the cheapest soap that's there, because I know that adding all that up is going to save me like $10 on that grocery bill. And then another time I feel like I can expend it. And when I look around and I can see that I can afford the good soap and the good toothpaste and the good shampoo and conditioner, I feel good. There's something internally. Nobody else uses that bathroom. This is not a company, if we have company bathroom. This is me bathroom. Does your bathroom and what's in your bathroom reflect you? When you look in the mirror and you look around, does it reflect you? Is it clean? Your bathroom should be clean. It's one of the first places you always have to clean. It's on the priority list, is your bathroom. So is it clean? Is there stuff everywhere? And half the stuff maybe you don't even use, but you keep it out because it's a specific brand. Use it. It's like the china set that your grandparents have that sit in a cabinet that only come out on special occasions, that if you ask the grandmother, 9 times out of 10, she says, I wish we would have used that every single day. Use the good stuff. Bring it out. Wear the good clothes. Bring it out and feel the difference of what you have. Those days you feel so much better. And there are days that you're going to have to lighten up and use the other stuff, right? But if you look around, does it reflect who you are? Does it reflect who you want to be? If there's too much stuff, get rid of it. My daughter and I just donated a whole bunch of lotions and bath wash and bath bombs, because sometimes they're on sale and you're like, I'm going to save these in case I need to give it a gift, because we don't live by a store. So if there's a birthday, we have to like run around our house and put things together. And we realized we were just collecting too much stuff. We didn't even know where to put it. It ended up in the spare room, and our spare room got more. Finally, 8 bags of clothes later, 2 more bags of bedding that we never use. I moved it here in 3 years. We still haven't used it. I took it down to the foster care place and dropped it off with these scented lotions and stuff because these foster kids, they really have nothing. We look around and think we have nothing, but boy, if there's a purge day that you start going through, you're going to realize you have a lot of somethings. You just didn't use them anymore. Somebody else is going to treasure them, even if they are half full. They are going to treasure every little bit because there's always somebody off that's worse off that you don't realize that what you're purging, they will adore. So remember that. Keep it in mind when you're like, if I don't use this, who would? Yeah, there's always somebody. Call the women's shelter. You'll find out who will use that stuff immediately. Even if it has a stain on it, they don't care. Okay, so March Madness is about clearing the chaos. And I told you that that's what this entire month was going to be about. Next week when I go live, I'm actually going to show you, I don't have a lot of stuff in my drawers right now because I had to pull it out. So I was going to do it today, but I'm going to show you how I store my nail art supplies. I'm going to show you all this. So when a client comes in and they bring pictures to me, I don't have to go searching for 15 minutes for a glitter. I know exactly where my glitter drawer is and exactly how to find that. And so saving you time saves the money. And I hate that sometimes this comes back to money, but it does. Do not need. Now forgive, I've bought lotions that I've opened. I've tried to use them over time on me. It doesn't smell good. Get rid of it. And don't just throw it in the garbage. Donate it to somebody who can use that. So when you start clearing your chaos, you let go of old habits. Number 2, you release beliefs of I don't have anything. How many times are you like, I just don't have any good clothes. I just don't have any of this. And you start going through all your clothes and you realize, oh shoot, I have things. I just don't like the things that I have, or I need to update the things I have. So the best thing to do is donate the things that you don't need anymore. Allow yourself a budget to go buy 1 new clothing item to replace every 10 you donate. It's a good rule of thumb, 1 to 10, okay? So release that, and then what you realize is that you do have things. You have lots of things, but for some reason we always think, I don't have anything. You do. You just need to figure out what it is that you want and continue investing in the things of where you want to be, right? Okay, number 3, you let go to allow new. So when you start organizing and cleaning and purging and letting go of some of these things, it allows a new mindset. It allows you to buy something new, redecorate, re-inspire yourself. So when you let go of something, it allows something new to come in. It's a miracle that way, actually. So for instance, I love to collect old fence. Old pieces of wood. I love sanding them, repurposing them, lighting them with a torch to give them more depth, painting on them. Oh my gosh. As soon as I like, okay, I can't do this anymore, and maybe it got wet and the wood's really rotting and I can't do anything with that, and so I put it in a burn pile and burn it. Guess what? The neighbor tears down a fence and calls me and says, do you want this? And it's newer, nicer fence. Here I held on to something that I knew was going to be a struggle to repurpose and stuff like that. But as soon as you let it go, it's almost like somebody is offering you another one that's more updated and better. Let go of the old and allow the new. It works every time. It's crazy. Project out there something that you need, and it's amazing how somebody is like, I just don't need this anymore. Would you be interested? And you're like, what? Like, I was just telling my daughter I needed a new lid for that pan, and now you just have that. She was like, yeah, it just sits there. I never use this lid. It's amazing how it comes back to you when you let go of something. Okay, number 4, you naturally begin to organize. So when you start clearing the chaos and you start taking things out and you realize, God, all these perfumes are sitting in this drawer, you put up a shelf and you start organizing because you don't want them in a drawer. They might spill. You start seeing like, okay, this is constant chaos. So what am I going to do to fix that? You start organizing. Naturally, when you start clearing the chaos, you start mentally figuring out what you're going to do to change that, and you start organizing. Once you get your environment where it's organized, you have alignment. It works fabulously. Okay, number 5, you get a feeling of self-accomplishment. And isn't that so true? Have you ever gone to somebody else's house and or yard? Yard is a good one because you can do it. You can like in 1 hour, you can like truly see a dramatic change in yard, right? So that feeling of accomplishment is what allows us at the end of the day go, I did that. Even if it was one tiny thing, I did that. That feeling of accomplishment fills your soul and starts taking away some of the pain that the other things have inside of you. You need to always feel needed, and we always need to feel that what we did was productive and that we accomplished something. Every day, if you can feel a feeling of accomplishment by the end of the evening, your life, your sleep, everything you feel so much better. Naturally, that feeling comes when you start taking the 5 seconds and the 5 minutes to do something. Number 6, you start getting confident. So likewise, when somebody stops in, I think it was Delia on here, when somebody stops in, you no longer have anxiety. You have the confidence where you're like, oh my gosh, what a great surprise. Come on in. Confidence. All from clearing your chaos. Number 7, it releases anxiety. When you're cleaning, you are actually releasing, I forget what chemical, for some reason, I don't remember the name and I don't want to mess it up. You actually release a chemical when you're cleaning. And in the beginning, it starts off in a pure form where it almost has an anger to it. And the more that you clean, the more serene you get, the more that you see something's done. And at the end, you're like, yeah, even though that started off with anger, I got that done. And look, I feel so much better. And sometimes you didn't get the help that you wanted. You know, it ties into other things around it. But the fact that it's done or that task is done will set you up for so much better. And you release the anxiety of that. And the next time you have to tackle the same thing, you know what you're setting yourself up for. So if you need to bring in help to be able to do that, or say, you know what, next time this happens, you're cleaning it. You know what I mean? So that but you need to find common ground. There needs to be a time where you and your spouse, or you and your roommate, or you and your children need to sit down and say, I'm going to take on this responsibility, and I'm going to take on and be true to your word and release anxieties. And sometimes it takes bringing in the help and dispersing, delegating, you know, the different tasks. You're going to find that somebody doesn't mind doing laundry. Let them do the laundry. Somebody is not going to mind going outside and mowing the yard, and maybe it's not your thing that you want to do. Let them do that. My sister-in-law always wants to trade out stuff. She hates ironing. I hate ironing, so I was like, I can't help you out with that. But I don't mind. I have a riding lawnmower. She lives 2 blocks down from me. I don't mind going down and just riding my mower through her yard. To her, it's like an all-day process. To me, it's like a 20-minute process. And so the things that you can help each other on sometimes might be from a friend. Maybe they love doing laundry. And, you know, maybe take your basics or your bedding over there. You don't have to take your intimates over there, and let them do your laundry. Let them feel needed. And likewise, maybe you don't mind running errands and going to the grocery store and stuff like that. Maybe they hate it. It gives them anxiety. Take their list. Take it with you. Drop off their groceries. You will see them shine, and you will shine. Let go of the anxiety that comes with us. And number 8, welcome, or others start noticing and they start complimenting. So if you have the same person coming to your house, you know, time and time again, weekly or whatnot, and all of a sudden they're like, wow, it smells so good in here. You get to go, I did that, or I put in a new Scentsy pot, or I cleaned. They will start complimenting you. That helps build up your confidence and let you know, I did that, or I delegated somebody to do that. But it's the whole process of the letting things go, and what comes back in might be the compliments. People are going to notice. If all of a sudden, if you're maybe not good with your hygiene, and you get better with your hygiene and you start doing your hair more, maybe it's always pulled up in a mom bun, they call it, and then pretty soon you're starting to wear your hair down, and they notice that, you know, they're going to start complimenting. Naturally, we compliment things when we see that it's a big change, and there's a confidence that comes with that. And so it's our job as well as to recognize this in others and do the same thing. So as we get compliments on something like that, remember to compliment all others as well. So kind of ties into that 5 love languages. Number 9, money begins to come. And it's so true. So one, we talked about like with lotions and stuff like that. All the little things that for some reason we need to buy impulsively. When you start realizing and organizing and you see everything you have, you start not buying impulse stuff, which means that you're going to end up with a little bit more money in your pocket than what you had before. The other thing is when you really need something and you start shopping and buy it on sale and you really say, I need, I don't know, a new, pot and pan set is what comes to mind because I need a new pot and pan set. I know that I'm not going to go buy a $20 pot and pan set. I know that the one that I want is almost $200 and it's going to replace about the $200 one that I have now. So I'm not going to go less quality and waste money. I'm going to save up for that. And when you save up for something and it's what you really want, you know that it's going to last a long time, you know it has a warranty, you feel better. And every time you use that pot and pan set, you will have confidence in what you're cooking. Over the long haul, when you invest in what you really want, you save money. Maybe it's something that might even save you time. Maybe you have an old coffee pot and it just takes forever to brew, whatever it is. And all of a sudden you have one that can, brew it quicker and it's, the temperature that you like. Mine brews too hot. You're going to realize that it's going to save you time. We know that saving time allows us to use that time on more productive things, more creative things that produces a financial return. So clear your chaos and you will find money comes. Or maybe you clear your chaos and you actually find money. Like in the couch cushions, or under the bed, or in pockets. So again, it's amazing how it comes back around. But I promise you, and I look forward to you guys, I want you to remember today, and I want you to remember that every time you find money or you cleared a chaos and something came back to you that came in full circle, I want you to share that win with us because it's huge. It happens. You just have to recognize it. Number 10, confidence comes in all forms, from the compliments to your inner thing of like, I did this from beginning to end. I changed out the spare bedroom. It's finally how I want it to be. You start doing that. You start inviting people to come over. As before you avoided them, maybe you didn't answer the door. But when you have that confidence in all forms of that, you're like, I think I'm gonna throw a dinner party. How fun is that to be surrounded by people that you enjoy and that you invited them to come over and you have this confidence in everything? It builds you up in so many ways that as long as that clutter is always there, it's always going to hold you back. You have to, it's like conquering a fear. You have to conquer it. Get rid of it. Clean it. Yes, it's amazing. And overall, what you will find is your health will be better. Your hygiene will be better because you have more time to spend time brushing your teeth because you didn't spend time doing whatever else. It's amazing how much different that because you have confidence, you portray that out there. You're going to do something a little bit different with your hair. Maybe you'll have time to put jewelry on. And so confidence in that, number 10, comes in all forms when everything else is in alignment like that. I've watched these transitions in people over the years when I've shared stuff like this, and it's phenomenal. It's life-changing, as I said. So how to clear the chaos? Well, let's see. So the first thing you can do for some, they create a list and an action plan and get, their family sitting down and saying, this is what I see as chaos and I want to end this. And the thing is, sometimes you can do it in a weekend. Sometimes there's a lot of chaos and it took a lot of years to create that, and it's going to be a few weekends or a day or something like that. But when everybody can plan, use your planner, mark it off. Today is Saturday. The weather's supposed to be 75. We are going to wash all these windows and we're going to do this. And at the end of the day, as a team, everybody feels like they have accomplished something that deleted chaos and they knew that was on your list. So some people, it's a list thing. For me, I do have a list, but when it comes to chaos like that, because I don't have a lot of that around me, mine's not a list, mine's an action. I just do it. I'm like, you know what? That's my priority today. I'm going to tackle that today. And so for me, I just start doing it. I put on music. My cleaning days, here's my cycle. My very first thing I do is go start the coffee, tea, whatever. Sometimes it's hot water with honey. Whatever it is that is your vice, get that out and set it on the countertop, and it's there setting for you for a minute. That's your reward, okay? Then for me, I have to go downstairs, for laundry. So I'm going to go through the bedrooms and I'm going to pick up whatever whites, whatever color, put it in that basket. Okay. I'm not clearing everything. I'm getting enough for one load of laundry because I'm going to start in small steps. One load of laundry. Okay. I'm going to take it. I have to go downstairs in my laundry room. I'm going to start that washer. Okay. If there's something in the dryer, I'm going to pull that out. I'm going to take that laundry up and I'm going to put it away right then. So if you think about the timing, this is in that 5-minute time frame. Okay. Then I'm going to go down and I'm going to enjoy that cup of coffee. I've already started a chore. And all I did was about a 5-minute chore, right? Now, if you're having to constantly go around your house and pick up all this laundry everywhere, you need to control that too. They need to go into a hamper, and sometimes you can have the color separated hampers so you can grab the one hamper and go down and start the laundry, grab the stuff out of the dryer, put that stuff away, go have your cup of coffee. It becomes an organized system. You have to start that somewhere. So for me, I always start with the laundry. While I'm drinking my coffee, if there's dishes, now if I have a dinner party, the thing that bothers me the most is that the dinner party is always separated. So after dinner, when those dishes need to be done right away, because if not, they stick to everything, the wives or a couple of the people end up in the kitchen and everybody else is out having great conversation. That makes me like chaos. I want everybody to be together and enjoy this. And because it's my home and I'm hosting it, I'm the one that steps away and do the dishes. I quit doing the dishes that night. I'd fill it up with hot soapy water and I'd let the dishes sit there. And if a company member wanted to stay and help me do the dishes at the end, great. It was so much easier. And I realized it was no longer that mindset of like, I don't get to go out there and enjoy the conversation around the bonfire. I have to be in here cleaning up the dishes. And I already did all the cooking and I cleaned the house before they came. That mindset, that chaos, that can be changed from you setting boundaries, saying, you know what, these dishes can wait. So if I have a dinner party and it's next morning, I have my laundry going, I go fill up the sink with hot soapy water and I put all those dishes into there and I let them sit. I don't even do the dishes at that time. That water is too hot anyways. Those dishes can sit. I remember when I was a kid, I was telling my mom like, oh, they're just soaking. I still do that today as an adult. And I realize it's my system. It's what works for me. And so those dishes sit. And then the first thing I do is go clean the bathroom. So I always start off for some reason with cleaning off the sink and dusting anything that's on there and stuff like that. I have a candle in my bathroom that hardly ever gets used. I only light it when company's over. So when I clean the bathroom, I light that candle because there's always dust on the top of it. So how many candles do you have that you don't use that have dust on them? So what I do is I light the candle and let it burn and it puts a scent out that I'm like, and wipe down the sink, wipe down everything, which does not take that long. Sorry, just let's get in a call. Go away. Which does not take that long. And then put the Windex onto the windows and then clean your toilet area, clean the floor area, and you're done. When you truly have a system like that, I'm going to be honest with you, both of my bathrooms are less than 5 minutes, unless I have to clean the actual shower. What I started doing to clean the shower is while I am showering, I keep one of those, it's a green scour pad, so it's like doesn't scratch or anything like that. I keep a little one in my shower, and while I'm showering, I'm wiping down the walls. Because one of the things that creates chaos in me is that when I'm fully dressed and even if my hair is pulled up or whatever, and I'm cleaning the shower, how messy that is. And then afterwards, you pretty much need to take a shower because all the cleaning goes down your arm, gets into your clothes, and it's a constant chaos, right? I started cleaning the shower while I was showering. So you know how much easier that is? And for a moment, and while I'm enjoying the hot water, I'm just wiping down the walls. I never actually have to clean the shower anymore. Like it just takes some of the stress away. So learn how to implement it into what you want, what you need. So cleaning my bathroom takes less than 5 minutes. I've timed it time and time again, less than 5 minutes to clean a bathroom. Bathrooms are important to keep clean because that's also where you tend to get most of your germs. Then I go back. Now my hands, I clean the bathroom. I always feel disgusted. I go wash my hands, right? And I have bleach soapy water sitting there. Now I can do the dishes. It runs into this great flow of a cycle. And when the dishes are done, I can go switch out a load of laundry, My dishes are done, which means that my cabinets are cleaned off too, because I do that while I do dishes, and my bathroom's clean. All of that falls into a normal cycle for me. So therefore, when people come over, it always seems like my kitchen is clean, my laundry is caught up, and my bathrooms are clean. And another day, I'm going to pick on something else. So another day, I'll start a load of laundry. If I need to do the dishes, because that's not all the time that we have company over that I need to do the dishes, I'll start on the living room, which means I pull out the Swiffer. Thank God we have those Swiffers. And I start from the top to the bottom because dust falls. So get organized in that too. Start at the top of mirrors, top of frames, Swiffer around. I listen to music while I do that. I talk on the phone to my family members. They're like, what are you doing? I'm Swiffering, because I'm multitasking. And then so everything's dusted, and if there's mirrors, I'll throw the Windex onto it. And then other than that, I just need a vacuum. So break it up into sections. That is a 5-minute thing, and you're going to realize that keeping your house organized and free from the chaos is really not that difficult. You just have to do it one step at a time and find a system that works for you. Enlist the help of other people, of that they put their clothes in the hamper if you're going to do the laundry, that they maybe delegate to them that their new role is to keep the laundry done. You know, like the things that bother you the most, delegate that out. Ask a friend to come over. You do my laundry for me, I'll go vacuum all your floors for you. It works. It's that networking with each other. Okay, sometimes it's best to mark out a day and just get it done. You'll see changes. Sometimes, especially like the spring cleaning of the yards and all that kind of stuff, just mark off a day. Get it all done in one day. You'll feel so much better. When it comes to big challenges like front yard, backyard, leaf raking, repotting flowers and stuff like that, that's not 5 minutes. These are things that truly need your time, dedication. Enjoy the sunshine on that day and just go get it done in the whole day. And tell your friends, you know what, I can't hang out today. If you want to come over to my house and help me do this, you can. And it's amazing how naturally they do. I've done it many times. I've been outside and all of a sudden my friend Lindsay walks by, and then all of a sudden she's helping me. Like it just happened the other day. She started breaking up the ice at the end of the driveway. She's like, I've always loved doing this. She was thrilled about it. I was out there going, I have to break up the ice. She comes over, I want to do that. She's like, if I would have known you had one of these, I would have been over here a couple days ago. And I was like, I don't want you breaking up my ice. She loved it. She left. She came back the next day because it was getting warmer the next day. And our ice at the end of our driveway was almost 6 inches deep. Anyways, she comes over the next day. She was on a walk and she went and grabbed the ice pick and started breaking up the ice. I could hear her from my bedroom, 9 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, what is that noise? And I look out and it's Lindsay out there and she's just breaking up the ice. When you verbalize these things, you welcome and invite others to be able to come in. It fills their soul. She loved it. She's still bragging about it. And it's just kind of funny, the things that sometimes we just got to let go so we can let in the good, When you start seeing these changes, you start feeling better in so many ways, and that sense of accomplishment and the confidence and all of that all comes together. And once you have every room purged, once you have every aspect done and completed, obviously the plan of attack becomes a little less. And so then you're going to find that there's a day you're like, well, the dishes don't need done, the bathrooms are clean, everything's vacuumed. When you finally get to that day, which I had yesterday, you don't know what to do with yourself. That's when you get inspired and you're like, what do I want to do with days like this? And of course, I had some traveling to do. And so I came down and kind of played around and took pictures of what I'm going to teach for my next class, and completely inspired all day yesterday. I was on a high all day yesterday. And part of that, though, is I had to clean my chaos first. I had to clear that plate. And when you finally get a system to where it's going, you get free days. And those are the best. That's your reward. And so it's important to be able to do that. It becomes a lot easier. It becomes the core of who you are. You start setting boundaries. You know what? There is no reason why we can't every week just take the Swiffer around, or let your 8-year-old daughter or grandchild or whoever come in and play with that Swiffer. They love it. Let them do it. And you're going to start realizing that you're setting those boundaries and those core values. You're sharing that with them as well. And it continues a better cycle than what we had. It's phenomenal. So here's another thing I want you to look at. when I get on my little cleaning sprees, doesn't mean that my timing's the same timing as my husband's timing, okay? So if I wake up one Monday morning and decide that today is the day that I'm going to tackle something, the yard. Now my husband works nights and he sleeps in the daytime, so my husband's not the main yard caregiver. I am, but I love it. We have a riding lawnmower. I love riding it. I love riding it. I would do, like, seriously, if I could get another job, I would probably be mowing people's yards. Not raking, not edging, just mowing. So I love being outside riding around on that. So he knows that, and so he's not going to take that responsibility, but he feels guilty sometimes. So I make sure that he never feels guilty. I let him know I enjoy this. He can do something else. So when it comes to stuff like that, don't say, okay, how many times have you told your spouse, your children, whatever, you need to do this, you need to do this, you need to do this. And if you read the 5 Love Languages book, you will realize that just becomes nagging. They know what needs to be done. You've told them many, many times. How many more times is it going to turn into an anger and a chaos inside of you? So one of these times when you know that it's written down, they know what needs to be done, I want you to not say anything to anybody else. I want you to get into your zen of your headphones, whatever it might be, and I want you to just begin the work that you want to get done. And you will be shocked that within a certain amount of time, without saying anything, somebody else will start doing something on that list or come out and say, do you need some help? It happens, and it makes you emotional, because what you've done is you've already set the boundaries. They already know what needs to be done. You have started the process without saying any words, and without any words back, they will automatically start doing something on that list. It's powerful. And that means that you've set the tone for what needs to be done, and you've voiced it. It's written. That's all you have to do. Quit yelling. Quit spending the time exhausting yourself when you need to exhaust yourself doing the other thing. Sometimes it's things we don't want to do. We don't like to do it. Just get out there and start it. Your family knows you don't like to do certain yard work, right? But if you're out there doing it, you're setting an example that, you know what? Yeah, I don't like doing this, but it needs to be done. They're going to naturally go, oh gosh, I better get out there and help, because I'm either going to get yelled at or I'm not going to get dinner tonight. And sometimes that's what it takes. You know what? What was that? The chicken and the bread, or I forget, you guys know the old saying. So sometimes you spent all day exhausting yourself, and you've spent all day out there doing something you didn't like and nobody helped. Well, you know what? Don't reward them with dinner. Go in, make yourself a bowl of cereal, and don't say anything. And they're going to come in and go, well, where's dinner? I didn't have time. Don't blame them. I did not have time to do dinner today because I spent my day doing all that yard work. And God, I feel good. I'm going to eat my cereal outside in the yard. They're going to want, well, I want to eat cereal outside. They're going to start seeing that if they put the work and they put the time into it, that they get rewarded too. Okay? Then the more times that you've exhausted yourself doing something that you don't have the time to do all the foofy stuff for them, because it's for them, they're going to start helping you because they want dinner. And they know that if they help you, that maybe even your guys are going to go out for dinner because you feel that gracious. They're going to have pizza and root beer floats or something, right? So start taking that part of your mindset out of the anger when it comes to that cleaning and go, you know what? I'm going to come to terms with this. And it's something that's bothering me, obviously, and not them. They know where I stand with this. They know that I want it done. I'm just going to go get it done. And the sacrifice is your time and doing something that you don't want to do. But man, the sense of accomplishment when you are done and the confidence when you're done is so much better. And yeah, it might start out with anger. You might be raking like no end. But by the time you're done, you're just going to feel so much better that look what I am doing. And pretty soon when you are calmed down and your family members feel like they want to be around you, they're going to start jumping in to help you. And so it's amazing how all of that comes together. Yeah. So, that's all my notes. So I used to always say embrace the chaos. And what I mean by that is not just embrace it and say, oh, this is what it is and leave it. No, embrace it. Face it. write down what really every day makes you just crazy, and embrace the idea of the chaos and what you can do to change it. It always goes back to this one thing, which is called the Serenity Prayer. We've all heard this prayer, but at some point in time when you're really ready to absorb it, it's going to mean something different to you. Okay, so hopefully today will be one of those days that you'll see all of this, chaos, how you have to clean your chaos, and the Serenity Prayer will come to you and mean something so different to you. Okay, so Lord, grant me the serenity to accept the things that I cannot change. Is this chaos something you cannot change? It's extended from you. And if so, I think everything could kind of be changed, because it's a mindset to accept it. So even if you have the worst health issues, instead of dwelling in that, you can learn to accept, this is what I got and this is my limitations. There comes a peace with that. So grant me the serenity to accept the things that I cannot change, the courage to change the things that I can. They use the word courage. So to change the things that you can. In your house, there are things that you can change that create chaos in you. And you know what this says? It takes courage to be able to do that. That's a powerful word. So think of yourself that when you're tackling these things to clear your chaos, that you are using courage to conquer that. That's huge. You look at yourself like, oh, this isn't, something little. This is something big. And you're setting this up for a consistent thing that you're going to do to create organization and calming for the rest of your life. So when you're almost 50 like I am, that you finally found this courage in you that you had years ago has really set yourself up for this calming in your future. The last part of this, and the wisdom to know the difference. Wisdom. Sometimes can we change this? Can I not? It's a 5-second thing. Can I change it? Can I not? Yes, I can change this. 5 minutes, get it done. Use the courage, use the wisdom to get serenity. Those are power words. And if you've never absorbed them that same way, to realize you have wisdom, you know the difference, you have courage, you can make the difference. And then whether you can make the difference or not, you're going to have serenity to know that I'm no longer going to let this be chaos in my mind and in my life. So again, the Serenity Prayer. Lord, grant me the serenity to accept the things that I cannot change, the courage to change the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Powerful, isn't it? All from clearing your chaos, life changing. So isn't that just wonderful? I love it. Love it, love it, love it. All right, so that's all my notes for today. So I hope that you mark off time in your planners to be able to do this. If you're a list maker, you're gonna have to mark off time to go around room to room in your house. Sit on the floor and say, these are the things I want to change in this room. These are the things I want to change in this room. Go to your workplace. Sit in the customer's chair of your workplace and look around from their point of view. Ask their opinion. When you come in here, is there something that just, bothers you? And see if it's the same things that bother you. Sometimes it's going to be something that they don't like a saying on the wall. Well, you know what? They can get over that. There's just some things you cannot change or will not change. So just know that it's up to you. It's a mindset, and it's up to you to get started. And it's up to you to take the time to write that list, get it going, or do the 5-5-15. So 5 seconds to say, I'm going to do this right now. 5 minutes to do the action. It's going to last you 15 hours or more. It's amazing. So anyways, thank you guys so much for always joining me on these Masters Mindset Mondays. I thrive on it. I love it. This is my element for sure. I get lost in it. All week I think about what I'm going to talk about the next week. So if there's something that you guys want me to talk about, message me and tell me what, and I'll see if it's a strength that I have. If it's not something I should be talking about, maybe I'll pull in somebody else to be able to talk about it. Maybe it's their strength. Okay, so to go back through the comments. All right. Hello, everybody. Oh my goodness. Okay, I went past that one. I went too far back. Okay, Dawn says, oh, Dawn, and you're still on my to-do list as well. I apologize. I didn't tag you in the things that I was going to. It's still written on my desk. I was gone last week. How many of you sanitize your files, or does anybody use a new one every single time? So Dawn, in the state of Wyoming, we have to use a new file every single time. They cannot bring them back with them. We cannot save them for them. It's a one-time use state. And so we cannot do that, which you'll know in your pricing. Sometimes people are like, oh, I charge $25 for a fill, and some people are like, I charge $35 for a fill. In some states like I am, I have to do new of everything when they come in. So therefore my costs might have to be higher than a cost where somebody can reuse things. So never compare, unless you're comparing apples to apples, what somebody else's price list is for yours, because it could get you in a pickle. So yeah, so you guys can answer the questions for that one. Hello, Cherie. You says, our house is for sale, so we try to keep it tidy. We do clean like mad before a showing, but it's windows, doors, yeah, so the normal things, but there's not chaos and dog hair on the furniture and stuff like that, because there's always that you need, and it's always bothering you, and you think that it's something that somebody's going to judge when they come in, then yeah, you got to figure that out. Maybe keep a blanket on the couch, and when company comes over, you just take that blanket, take it off the couch, or you have one of those tapey things to get the hair off really quick, but still that's a chaos in your mind, you know? So you're right, the regular tidy stuff is normal there, but yeah. Hello Dana Lynn, how are you? Deb says, I never freaked out last year. I did the 40 bags in 40 days challenge. Oh my gosh, felt so awesome. Got rid of actually more than 40 bags of clothing, sheets, blankets, things that we don't use any longer. Felt good to declutter. That's what I'm talking about. It is amazing when we start going through things, what we hold on to. And maybe it's because it's a gift that somebody gave us. Like, no offense, and I know she's not in this group, so I'll talk about it. I had a client bring me a rather pink, and I love pink, but like pink crocheted shawl. So it's a kind that just goes over your head, and it's like a blanket to sit around you. It's not for me. And I don't want to get rid of it because she made it for me. I've purposely have worn it so she saw me wearing it, so I fulfilled that part. It needs to go to somebody who will appreciate it. And meanwhile, it sits into our spare room where everything we don't really want goes into. And I will either regret that and share with her, you know what, I gave this, I'm honest with people, I gave this to the foster care place. I just know that there's a child that's going to wear that more than what I do. I thank you that you made that for me. I said some prayers with it and I sent it on. And they'll understand. That's a hard one because we hold on to things that we really don't want, but we don't want to hurt somebody else's feelings. And you know what? She will never probably come in here and say, do you still have that shawl? And so anyways, I am going to tell her I'm going to regift it. I don't want it to go to waste. I don't want to throw in the garbage. Yeah. Monique says, such a man. Yeah. Throwing my stuff everywhere. Oh, you guys can tell it creates chaos in me, right? Hello, Day. How are you? Aw, I've missed you too. I love seeing pictures of you and your baby. Delia, I wash my dishes by hand, so it has to be spotless. So Delia, I'm kind of with you. Not only do we rinse the dishes on a regular basis, put in the dishwasher, but when we have company over, I fill up that sink and I wash them and then still put them in the dishwasher. And I don't know why. I should just let them dry out on the counter, but yes, builds their confidence. Yes. Hello, my niece Taylor. How are you today? Deb says, our kids always knew that they had to rinse their plate, the cup after dinner, and set on the counter to be washed or out of the dishwasher. Yeah, and that's our cycles. We rinse it and put it in the dishwasher, and so I don't have to sit there and physically wash them unless we have company. Pots and pans, though, always need a good washing. I've learned, I have a Cuisinart set, and our dishwasher, when we moved here, for some reason started eating the outside of it, and so those cannot go in the dishwasher. Yes. Hello, everybody. Hello, Mama. My mommy's even on here. Dawn, yes, my big thing that I want to know is if the earrings fall on the back of the toilet, wait. I don't think I read that right. I should probably put my glasses on today. Dawn says, my big thing, I want you to know if your earrings fall on the back of my toilet, you're a good girl. My big thing, I want you to know, if your earrings falls on the back of my toilet, you're good. Okay, Dawn, I'm not understanding that completely. First of all, if your earrings are falling off of the back of your toilet, is that the best place for your earrings to go? Maybe you need to get a little dish or something to put them in, or maybe they need to not be in the back of the toilet. I worry about the germs because I know as boys go to the bathroom that urine comes up to be gross, and when they flush the toilet. So I would worry about the things that are even around my toilet area. So take your earrings and take them off the back of the toilet and put them in something else. That would create chaos in me. However, you might not have that scenario in your home and it's perfectly fine. But if they fall off the back of the toilet, you're good. No. Deb, yep, there's that 40 bags in 40 days challenge. The Lent instead of giving up something. Yes, exactly. Taylor, you have the biggest heart and I love it. I love you. Tamika, Melissa, hello guys. It said broadcast interrupted. Yeah, it might have been when I got that call. And then MJ, oops, I have to buy and donate amount backwards. Yes. Monique, my most favorite thing to do is reorganize and redecorate. The fresh feeling. Monique, I'm with you. I like to change out my curtains. I change out the pillows that are on the chairs. I change out decor. And you know why? Because I'm organized and I have a system and it allows me the time to be able to do that. And then I'm re-inspired. So my salon changes seasonally. So usually a minimum of 4 times a year, sometimes 5 or 6. Delia, our salon table is made of old barnwood. Oh my God, I would love that. Michaela, make your bed every day. Help set the pace for cleaning as you go. Yes, and you know what, Michaela? I'm going to tell you this how I make my bed. I've always made my bed this way. I'm laying in bed. It's like cleaned in the shower thing for me. It's like a dual purpose. I lay in bed. I have learned to always stretch everything. My fingers as wide as I can. I move my feet up and down while I'm laying there. And I just stretch my legs out as far as I can. Well, when I push my legs out as far as I can, it pushes my blankets out to the corner of my bed. So the bottom of my bed's made. Sometimes my legs are going crazy to get the blankets where they need to go, which is exercise and circulation for me. And then I take the top of the bed and I kind of move my way out and I take the top and fold it down. When I get out of my bed is made while I was in it. I've done that since I was a kid and I still do that. And then I did buy a decorative pillow that's, what does it say? Not life is good, something about that. And I always take the decorative pillow, put it at the foot of the bed for some reason in the morning. I always get that and I put it back on and then my bed's made. So it's so funny. So yes, clean as you go. Deb, do you know how I felt after I accomplished my website? Yes, I do. And look at the work and the time that it put in to do that. And it wasn't a 5-minute thing. But when you got done, now guess what's going to happen? Financially, you get rewarded. All of these things, we don't think of it as a financial reward. Now, websites meant to sell, so obviously that was your intentions. But when you are organized and you get something done to completion, it's amazing how this money comes into play with it. It blows your mind. Yeah. Deb says, you just went black. Nothing on the screen. Well, hopefully that went away. I will not. I try not to buy on impulse. Yeah, me too. I'm actually pretty good about that these days. MJ says chemicals released. Yeah, endorphins. That's the main word that I was thinking about earlier. Dopamines. I mean, look at all the serotonins, everything like that. Look at all that's released while you're doing this. It's so true. Hello, Brenda. How are you? Thanks for jumping in. Trick with your Swiffer when dusting is to spray the Swiffer lightly with dusting spray. Swoops up. Yes, exactly that. And it puts a nice scent out there. Yes, so if you guys didn't know that, that is a good trick. Hello, Adriana. Hello, Karen says, love today. It was inspirational. Thank you for giving. Oh, you are so welcome. Tania, I'm pretty sure I was watching the wrong dang live. Oh, no. That does happen, doesn't it? So to catch me live, if you want to watch old ones, you guys know that you can go to this is different than any of my other group. Go to the event section and go to the past weeks. After I go live, I put a description of what the live is, and I take that link and put it into that event so it's easy to find each week. So it's not set up in the unit section or anything like that like we do in the other groups. It's done in the event section. And then Robin says, thanks again for the awesome MMM. Once again, you are so welcome. Monique, you are welcome. Guys, thank you so much. And then MJ says, toilet and earrings was about how clean her toilet is. Your earrings would be good enough to put on the back. Okay, I'm good with that. Yes. You know, cleaning toilets is not my favorite thing either, but I feel good when knowing that it's clean. And there are days that I'm like, how at the very base where those bolt things are that connect it to the floor, how does stuff get there? I don't really want to know, but seriously. Yeah, Tanina, I was watching last week's live, but I didn't watch it and was keeping profits in your pockets one. Yeah. And you know what? Thank you guys. A lot of you reached out to me about that and said that they never looked at it that way and they never have broken it down. And of course, I think we need to learn that in school. You're not taught that in school. In fact, I don't know of anybody else teaching it into details like that, from your overhead, table cost, product costs, all the way down. So for now, I'm just going to promote myself and say sign up for the class. But it was amazing how many of you reached out and said, wow, like you were blown away. And I said, yeah, it's the one class that I teach that almost every single time, well, every time somebody cries, every time. And they're never where they really want to be. And they just didn't know. They honestly just didn't know how to save money. They didn't know, you know, they were told one way and they just always stayed with that. And so, yeah. So thank you guys for reaching out to me on that. You guys help inspire me and let me know that I'm on the right train, being able to do these Master's Mindset Mondays. And I enjoy it. So I hope you guys want to continue on. We're just into March. We have a lot of Mondays to deal with for the rest of the year. So remember again, Monique, you cried. I'm sorry. I don't mean to make you cry, but honestly, it's one of those real raw cries where you realize you have to make a change. And making a change is difficult, and it brings on fear and anxiety and chaos. And so I don't mean to make you cry, but I do want you to see the reality check of it all, and be able to get past that to where you don't have that. And then you can continue to help and share other people as well, but share to other people. Okay, so remember next Monday, I'm not going to be live next Monday. I'm just going to say that now. I was going to try to make it work. I'll be sitting at the airport waiting for my plane. And I thought, there's already enough anxiety of me going to an airport right now that I just don't want to add more. And that it's going to be loud. It's not going to be enjoyable for me, relaxing for me. So I'm just going to reschedule it. I just don't know if it's going to be like 24th, 25th, but it will be next week. Sometime it's going to be on a different day. So do not mark off your Monday at 11 because I won't be here. Unless you do watch a live that you want to rewatch or something like that. So just kind of know that. And then Becky, I just saw you pop up again at the top. I get to see you in 2 days and I'm so excited. I keep calling it Casa de Bonheur because that's where I'm staying next week. And I'm ecstatic for this. I'm excited to see your girls and, play with your dogs and see the weather and, sit in the hot tub and have barbecues. And I even get to go camping with you for a day. But the main reason I'm going is actually we're teaching a 2-day nail class. So all of you that's coming for the class, I'm ready. My stuff is creating chaos on my desk to be packed up to ship out today. So I didn't have to put it in my luggage. I'm going to have it shipped there. And, I'm so excited. I love teaching, and to be able to team up with Becky at her place, which is amazing, is exciting for me. So yes, exciting. And you guys know that you guys can join in virtually as well. So if you can't make it there in person, there's an online, we record everything and you're live with us. So we answer your questions live while we're on. And so just like what we do here. And so it's very interactive. And then we put you into a group where you get to rewatch it, just like in here, rewatch it over and over. So like 6 months from now, if you're like, how did Becky teach how to do that pigment class? It's still there for you to learn. And so we have it available. So what is it? The 14th, 15th is this 2-day class. And then April 17th and 18th, we're teaching another one in Northern Utah. And then in August, we're going to Montana and teaching one there. And then we're doing a summit. And so there's plenty of, if you are worried about coronavirus or flus and any of this travel stuff, we understand. And so we offer the online version of what we're doing in person as well. So if you're ready for some next steps, there's some options for you. Okay, Tania, I'm so sad I wasn't feasible financially, maybe online. Yes, so you can do the online part. And, we had people contact us early on and say, can I make payments? Yep. So they made $100 payments per month and whatever it takes for you to be accountable and get it done. Do it. We'll work with you on that kind of stuff. Becky, can't wait. Yay. I know, I'm so excited. Like, seriously, how we talked about in the beginning, plan fun things that you have something to look forward to. So we planned this last fall and it was just out of sights and then out of sights and then out of sights. And then all of a sudden when I was scheduling my appointments and then I could, I schedule them 1 or 2 appointments in advance and I could be like, oh, I can't do that week because I'm going to be in Utah. It was just like, so the last couple months I've like almost every client been like, I'm going to be gone during that time. Yeah. Well, what are you doing? I'm working. But they're like, but I get to go, I get to go somewhere. It's exciting. And so it feeds you for 2 months. And then guess what? I already have things scheduled after that. And then I get to see my husband in 2 weeks. And then after that, we're teaching another class and I'm traveling for another one-to-one. And yeah, I still do clients in my salon and, I get excited for them too. But it puts something in there that fuels your soul so that all this chaos and everything that you're working on, there's a reward. You are living life and not just always into the burdens and the burns out of what life brings, that there's a reward for you at the end of this. And allow yourself to shine. Allow it. And I know I'm not one of those people when they say, oh, you have to allow yourself these things and tell yourself it's okay. I've never been that person, but I do know that sometimes we hold ourselves back. And so therefore, I guess in a way that's not allowing us to, shine, allowing us to accept money. To me, I'm like, get the work done and it comes naturally. So yeah, it's amazing how it works. So whatever it is for you that, your prayers have been answered and it came from a prayer or whatever, to me, it's just get it started, just get it done. And the answers come as you go. And so I love it. I love it, love it, love it. All right, you guys have a great rest of your week. I hope that you take the time to sit in each room of your life or your car and figure out where do you start and then put it down together. And I think it's important that the few checklists that I gave off today, I think I'm going to type those up when I have time and I'll post them in our group so that if you guys want to print them off or whatever you can. But yeah, you got to start somewhere. So you might as well start right now with 5 minutes. 5 minutes, just go get something done that is in the forefront of your mind. Just do it. And then give yourself a treat of whatever your treat is for you. And just know that you did that today. And tonight, reflect on that again and say, I did that. And it's all you. You guys can, people thank me all the time. I'm like, no, I spoke, you took the action. That is all you. You just all of a sudden decided to absorb what somebody's going to say that I'm sure somebody else has said to you over and over and over again, or you've said it to yourself, but you've not taken the action. And then all of a sudden one day somebody else says it to you and then you're like, oh, light bulb moment. You take the action and then all of a sudden you're shining and you're on the right track. So continue doing that. All right. I love you guys and I'll talk to you next week sometime.